Hi Curious and welcome back. In today's episode, we are going to talk about an actress that on our side of the entertainment industry could be seen as an emerging talent. She is recognisable by a mix of her British and Asian features and has most recently starred in the Netflix show Shadow and Bone. Do you know who we are talking about? If you guessed Jessie Mei Li, who plays the main protagonist on the show, then you would be correct. Today we are going to talk absolutely everything that surrounds the actress so you can get to know this rising star. What does the step in her career mean for the 25-year-old? What are some of the personal information that she has revealed? What was her experience filming Shadow and Bone like? This is just the beginning of her career as well as our video, so make sure you stay until the very end to find out all the latest updates from the actress. But before we continue, don't forget to turn on the notifications and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our future videos. However, be aware that this episode may contain spoilers. In the show, Jessie Mei Li plays Alina Starkov, a fearless but overly cautious character whose extraordinary power could free her country. This is in reference to the new Netflix series Shadow and Bone, of course. But if you are wanting to get to know this actress more, then you are in the right place. Jessica Mei Li was born on August 27, 1995 in Brighton, England, to an English mother and a Beijing-born father who was raised in Hong Kong. The Shadow and Bone series has increased Jessie's popularity since it has been one of the most anticipated shows of the year. The show is based on a series of popular novel series that takes place in the Grishaverse, and that was written by Leigh Bardugo. Following the release of the show, many were quick to point out Jessie's talent and had called her the next big star. And while she has evidently displayed her skills in the Netflix show, her talent has also been evident from the beginning of her acting career and her past projects. But what other productions might fans have had a chance to see her in? Prior to Shadow and Bone, our star made her stage debut in the show All About Eve in 2019. In it, she starred alongside Gillian Anderson, who is most known for her role in The X-Files, and Lily James, about whom we also have a video, which you can view by clicking on the link above. After a while, she was chosen for the production of Last Night in Soho, directed by Edgar Wright. And here we bring you good news, because it is set to be released on October 22nd this year. But to add more information about the star, Jessie had also appeared in an episode of Short Fix in 2018 and Banged Up Abroad in 2019. Though an interesting fact about Jessie is that originally she did not want to be an actress. In fact, she attended the University of Sussex where she studied languages. After dropping out of college, she began working with special needs children. And it was only in 2015 that the star of today's video had finally begun to dabble in the world of acting, first starting with the theatre. However, it is almost a given fact that impending fame will come her way now that the show has been released. But our actress had stated that she is not interested in popularity. As she said in her own words, which we quote here, "I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be a celebrity." As per The Hollywood Reporter, she also added that people on the internet have either good or bad things to say about her, and that it all should be taken with a grain of salt, as she thinks this is just their interpretation of her. And if you are already interested in the gossip curious, Jessie has had a few things to reveal to 17 magazine. It was all in regards to the fact that she had some real complexity regarding defining her gender, specifically with the masculine or feminine or non-binary. While growing up, she finally spoke to a close friend who had questions regarding these similar issues. She revealed that she had thought about this for a long time and in the end came to this conclusion. I was thinking, well, I am completely non-binary, what am I? And I realized, actually, I am who I am. I'm first and foremost just a human being who likes what I like. I am also a woman, and that's how the world has viewed me the majority of my life. I'm proud of that as well, and I can identify with both those things. I think that's the thing with your pronouns and gender identity. You can just be who you are. That was so freeing to me to understand that I could have multiple pronouns, and some friends will refer to me as they and some will refer to me as she, and that's okay. I'm proud to be gender non-conforming. I'm proud of all my friends who are the same. Hopefully, as time goes on, it becomes something that more and more people feel they can talk about. If some of you have found her own words to be confusing, it can easily be summed up that she identifies as neither a woman nor a man, but somewhere in between. although actually, with respect to her preferences, many claim that she may be bisexual, but she herself has not commented on this, and according to her own statement, she currently has a boyfriend and has managed to keep his identity secret thus far. According to several sources, he was diagnosed with autism, and while he has taken videos of her for her social media, it can be assumed that for the time being, his identity will not be revealed by the actress. And up to this moment in her career, she has not been involved in any scandal that could affect the takeoff of her career, though she did make some statements that could be seen as controversial, but to find out what those have been, make sure to stay until the end. Another interesting piece of information about this actress was the fact that she was really enamored with the fact that the writers of the show had depicted her character Alina as being mixed race. And here we have a spoiler alert for you curious. In the series, Alina is half Ravkan and half Shu. In the universe, Ravkan has been inspired by Russia, while Shu Han is inspired by China and Mongolia. In fact, those who read the books will know that Alina is described as pale, but that her race is never clearly stated. In addition to being able to in some way identify with the character where the racial issues are concerned, she had also made a statement that could have been seen as polemical at the time. In her own words, the actress told The Beat, "So I was so thrilled that they made this decision, and yeah, I was able to bring my own experiences. I think for lots of people who are mixed race or first generation immigrants, you spend so much of your life not feeling like you belong anywhere. I certainly grew up in a predominantly white area and I was always the Chinese one to my white friends, but to my Asian friends and family, I was very English and you never really feel like you belong anywhere." What do you think, curious? Have you found these statements as outrageous as some did? And it seems that at this point it is worth mentioning some factors that you should know if you are about to see or if you are already watching the highly anticipated series Shadow and Bone. And with it, you can discover why, for Jessi, it is the best production in which she has participated in up until now, and why she has totally fallen in love with it. So once again, curious, a spoiler alert. First of all, you have to keep in mind that it is not at all essential that you have to read the books from the series to understand what the Netflix show is about. The world of Shadow and Bone is very extensive and it is divided into several countries with capitals that take inspiration from real cultures. As we have mentioned before, it has touches of inspiration from Russia, Mongolia and China, Ketterdam from the Dutch culture in Amsterdam, and also touches of Scandinavian cultures. With this alone, we know that it will be the most for a fact as visual delight. And of course, we have the humans, and there are also the Grisha, but also the Corporalaki. Alright, we'll explain this briefly to you. So within a group of humans, there are the normal people without special abilities, and there is the Grisha, a magical order that fights against the shadow that can manipulate matter and energy. The Corporalaki transform their own body, the Materialarchy transform materials like wood or metal, and the Etherlarchy manipulate the natural elements. I know, it may seem confusing, but at the same time, you may be very curious to know what kind of experience you would be in for by watching the show, and maybe just like Jessi, you might get really stuck with the story. And yet we close this description with the Shadow, who represent evil and who want to end the world and are slowly advancing a wall of shadow and darkness in which dwell terrifying monsters that are called Volcra. And in fact, no one knows where it comes from, and all those who have tried to defeat it did not return alive. However, it will be very interesting to see how our heroine goes ahead with it and tries to save the world from this terrifying shadow. And since we're already talking about all this sorcery and witchcraft, you can imagine what it would be like if this was a reality. If you are interested, why not find out how the magical world of Harry Potter is around us by clicking on the link above and checking out the video on our channel CURIOSIPS WOW. Returning to the star of today's video, if you think the lockdown was not a serious thing where even Jessi was affected, you would be wrong. But this time it was even more difficult for the actress as she was diagnosed with ADHD during the pandemic, and because of not being able to go out, she had to found the period to be very difficult for her, just as it has been for many people around the world. In an interview with The Guardian, she opened up and talked about this diagnosis. "It completely changed how I viewed loads of things in my life and made me really consider the way I think about things. In the past, I was constantly late for things and forgetting things and losing things." So curious, did you expect Jessie Mei Li to relate to her character so much? What do you think about her acting debut? What do you think about her performance in Shadow and Bone? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our future videos. Also, make sure to check out our brand new channel CURIOSIPS WOW, where we upload many interesting videos and real life stories. Until next time.